Yep, back in America after a few months abroad. And like always, it's a culture shock. You know, a lot of people spend a lot of time hating on America. Usually these videos start out a whole different way. Someone saying, oh, I just spent X number of months overseas and I came back to America and I didn't even want to come back to America. Well, I have a little bit different point of view. Because in the last 5 years, I've spent maybe 6 months or more a year living in other countries, you know, outside of America. And it's been great. I love all the other countries I've been living in. Costa Rica, Nicaragua, the Dominican Republic, Chile. But the reality is, there is nowhere like America. And it's really for more reasons than one, you know? Like, it's not just that it's home. It's not just that it's the best economy in the world. But yeah, it is home. And yeah, it is literally the best economy in the world. You can come to America, and if you want to work and make money, if you put your head down and go to work every day, you're gonna walk away with money. Now, this is not saying that it's all roses and rainbows in America. A lot of people who work have a hard time in America, and I fully support making America better for working people. And I think this country does need to get better for working people. But that being said, it is still one of the best, if not the best country for a highly motivated working individual in the world. America has its problems, but it's a great place to go to work every day. You can improve yourself. You can better your financial standing in America easier than you can almost anywhere else. I see all these videos with these people, you know, it's really popular, these videos where people come online and they say, oh, America, I just came back to America, and, you know, I don't even want to be here, I just have to take care of business. But failing to acknowledge that, yeah, you've got business in America that allows you to make enough money to travel and live like a king in all these other countries. Because if you did not have those US dollars, if you were living in Nicaragua, Nicaraguan currency, if you were living in Costa Rica as a Costa Rican, if you were living in the Dominican Republic as a citizen of only the Dominican Republic, you would be highly limited in what you could do, even in those countries, where you could take your US dollars and you can live for nothing, or comparatively nothing. And that being said, even in America, it's possible to live for comparatively nothing. It's just that you have to downsize your life. In America, there are temptations. All of this consumerism, all these things. You can eat out 7 days a week, you know, you can have a different meal every day of the month. But the reality is, if you live like that in America, yeah, you might be poor. You might overspend. Whereas if you live simply in America, if you're a minimalist in America, not only can you survive, but it's relatively easy to thrive. Okay, I came back from Nicaragua 14 days ago today. I had about $1,400 in my checking account, which is not very much when I came back. I've been working every single day, either a job or gig work like DoorDash, and I've literally doubled my net worth in 14 days. Where else in the world can you double your net worth in 14 days? That's what's amazing about America. America also gives you the option of just being lazy and surviving. And I don't know any other country in the world where you can sit around and be lazy and just survive like America. And I'm not judging anyone. I've done it. That's been me. My 20s, I spent my 20s, I worked, but only minimally. I rode a snowboard for a living, and I worked literally as little as I could. I spent all my time having fun, and I still paid the rent. I still ate well, maybe a little too well, I was chubbier in my 20s than I am in my 30s, than I was in my 30s, and I guess I'm 40 now, but I feel pretty fit for 40. It's crazy because you hear all these people talking trash about America. But the reality is, America is the land of opportunity. That's why everyone wants to come here. And I'm not saying there are no countries that do things better than America. I'm not saying that at all. There are plenty of countries that do lots of things better than America. Europe does the healthcare thing better than America. Canada, Australia. Even Nicaragua and El Salvador, man. El Salvador does the healthcare thing really well. A couple of years ago, I got an ear infection in El Salvador, and I went to the emergency room. I saw a doctor within about 2 hours, which is faster than it would have happened here in America. And they gave me a shot in my tuchus and about 14 days worth of antibiotics. And it didn't cost me a red cent. It didn't cost me a penny. I was shocked. I was like, wow, I'm not even a citizen of this country. And they gave me free medicine, free medical treatment. America could really learn from that. Because if El Salvador can do that, so could America. But now we have to talk about the elephant in the room. We talked about America. Now we got to talk about Americans, okay? Americans are very diverse. And so I don't want to stereotype any more than I have to. But we are going to use some generalizations because American society has lost its mind. Just in the last 5 to 7 years, American society has literally flipped on it's been turned on its head. People are different now. And part of that is because people are addicted to their phones to the point where maybe they're not even people anymore. They're just social media bots. I was just at the skate park skating, and even the kids, they don't look at each other. They don't really talk to each other, not the same way they used to. Everyone's scared of each other, even the kids. The kids are even scared of each other. And if you think the kids are scared of each other, man, the adults are really scared of each other. Yeah, I'll give you an experiment. You can try it today if you want. Try to strike up a random conversation with another adult that you don't know in America today. and see what happens. They're gonna look at you like you're insane. And I'm not saying people don't have conversations anymore, but try to have a conversation with someone that you don't know, that you don't follow on social media, that you're not friends with on Facebook, because that's the vetting process now. That's how everyone decides if they want to interact with one another. That's how we all work now in America, for better or worse. Meta, Twitter, even YouTube. It runs everything. Social media is king. Try to start a business in America without using Meta. See how far you get. Yeah. You know, I was just living in the jungle in Nicaragua, and neighbors there in the jungle, in Nicaragua in general, but especially in the jungle, you know, they talk to each other every day. You have a conversation with your neighbor. You talk to people in the town that you live in. Americans, we don't talk anymore. Not to each other. We talk to a screen. We post. And people like it. And sometimes people comment. But even when people comment, rarely do you see people actually having a conversation, because it's taboo. It's social taboo to have a conversation in America now. Unless it's already been predetermined that you would agree on everything. That's modern America. That's what the age of Meta, the age of Twitter has done to us. It's really rare that you'll find someone in America that'll just have a conversation. Will just sit down and have a conversation with you somewhere. Maybe at a bar where everyone's drinking and their guard drops down. You know, maybe that's where people still have conversations. I'm not sure. I don't go to bars. I don't really drink. Not because I'm against it, just because I don't really drink. If you drink, that's cool. Jen's probably having a drink right now while I'm driving around delivering DoorDash. Anyway, it is definitely culture shock being back in America, especially after spending a couple months abroad. But I think in a good way. I mean, I enjoy America. Here in about a week, I'm gonna drive across America from one side to another. It's gonna be interesting. Gonna take a camera along, obviously. Lots of cameras. And lots of surfboards. I hope everyone's having a good day. I'm Eric. This is Sigma Surf. Pura vida.